White House and is signing a series of executive actions in the Oval Office, where he is pardoning some 1,500 January 6 rioters who have been convicted for participating in the attack on the Capitol 4 years ago. The president is speaking now. Let's listen in.
Yes, sir. First, we have a list of pardons and commutations relating to events that occurred on January 6, 2021.
Okay, and how many people is this?
I think this order will apply to approximately 1,500 people, sir.
So this is January 6th. These are the hostages. Approximately 1,500 for a pardon.
Yes.
Full pardon.
Full pardon or commutations?
Full pardon. We have about 6 commutations in there where we're doing further research. Okay. Nice to see you again. So this is a big one. Anything you want to explain about this? We hope they get them. We hope they come out tonight, frankly. They're expecting it. Approximately 1,500 people. Six commutations.
Were there any cases you did not need for pardon of people?
We're looking at different things, but the commutations would be the ones that we'll take a look, and maybe it'll stay that way, or it'll go to, full pardon.
And the order does require the Bureau of Prisons to act immediately on receipt of the pardons and commutation orders. Sir, this is an
Why don't we get that down so they can get them going right now?
Yes, sir.
Is that okay?
Yep, absolutely. Okay. This is a proclamation guaranteeing the state's protection against invasion based on the current crisis at the southern border. It invokes various executive powers relating to the ongoing invasion at the southern border.
All right, President Trump, you heard him pardoning 1,500 people connected to the January 6 riot. The president referencing that he wants it to happen right away, and the wording that he announced sounds like that would be the requirement. We have a live picture, I believe, from the federal prison near D.C. here, where many of those people are being held. I'm joined now by Meet the Press moderator Kristen Welker and NBC News senior Washington correspondent Hallie Jackson. First of all, Kristen, no surprise. We knew it was likely he would do this, but 1,500, that's virtually everyone.
It's virtually everyone, Lester. I believe there were 1,600 people total who had been convicted of crimes on January 6th. It's important to note 172 of them were convicted of assaulting police officers, so we'll have to see if anyone on that list is accused or pleaded guilty to assaulting police officers. We will also look to see, it appears at this point, that it will include former Proud Boys leader Enrique Tarrio. According to his lawyer, his client is currently being processed for release from federal prison because of this action by President Trump. What's important to remember about Tarrio, he was sentenced to 22 years in prison for seditious conspiracy. He wasn't there on January 6th, but he was charged with planning the attack against the Capitol. This is part of what candidate Trump campaigned on. He said that he would pardon those who were convicted on January 6th. I have to say, of all of his policies, this is not a popular one. According to recent polling, 2/3 oppose him pardoning those who've been convicted of crimes on January 6th.
I was just going to say a remarkable moment here, considering, as Kristen pointed out, the president had long previewed this was something that he would do. Remember that and just to use Enrique Tarrio as an example, during that trial, his attorney essentially pinned the blame for this on President Donald Trump for suggesting that his supporters go to the Capitol. And so you saw that happen. You saw that play out. And now here you have the president conducting these pardons. And we should note he said about 6 commutations. That, of course, means that your sentence goes away, right? So you're released from imprisonment or incarceration, but the conviction remains. A pardon essentially wipes the slate clean. We're also, I should just point out, seeing another rather interesting moment where it sounded like a reporter asked President Trump if former President Biden had left him a letter, as is tradition in the Oval Office. And right there, the president said he wasn't sure, opened the drawer, and there's the letter. So there is still a lot of activity, a lot of action tonight. And these January 6th pardons, very significant for the scope and the scale. There had been a question mark as to how many pardons or commutations he would issue. We now have an answer, although we are looking to see the paperwork for more specifics.
All right. Let me turn to NBC News senior legal correspondent Laura Jarrett. Laura, it's important to point out not everyone pardoned went to prison, or some have been released from prison.
Yeah, Lester, some of them had been convicted of misdemeanors and never went to prison at all. Others, now that so many years have passed, are already out. But this pardon will still apply to them. But that was only around 700. So that still leaves another half from the roughly 1,500 people that he referenced there who do not fall into that bucket. The most sort of prominent bucket we should mention is roughly 200 people who were actually behind bars. So those people, as you heard him mention there, they're being directed by the Bureau of Prisons to get them out now, so immediately. And I should mention, nobody can challenge this. He has sweeping pardon powers as the head of the executive branch. There is nothing anyone can do to stop these individuals from getting out of prison today, Lester.
Yeah, that was my follow-up question. Was there's no appeal process here?
No, there's no appeal process. It is one of the privileges that the office of the president enjoys here is he has a sweeping authority to either commute. As he mentioned, there's 6 commutations. He said more research is going to be done on those, and the rest are getting a full pardon, Lester.
All right, thank you. That concludes this NBC News special report. We'll have much more coverage throughout the night on our streaming channel, NBC News Now, and tomorrow on Today. Thank you for watching. I'm Lester Holt. Good night. Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC